Kellen, day one at the Sport International Hockey Academy. So for our goalie video analysis, we're going to talk about your stance, understanding your angles, and then understanding your movements as well. So take a look here. So if I bring in the pro goalie, you're going to be able to see your stance side by side, okay? So you can see both your heads are up, your shoulders are square to the shot. You can see right here, let's take a look at your hands now. So your hands are right next to your knee, which is really good. Your blocker hand, and then your glove hand is up, out, and open, and you can see that you're keeping your elbows in front of your body, which is really good. So what you want to do is have them about in sync with each other and parallel with each other. So now take a look at your lower body here. So your lower body here, you got a little bit of double coverage at the top there, so I want you to just kind of raise your upper body just a little bit. That way we can cover a little bit more net, and I think you can start to get your head to that post. That'll also talk with your leg pads, they won't overlap as much if you're just a little bit more up. You can see right here that you're on the inside part of your skate, which is really good, so you're on those inside edges, so that's where you want to be when you're in your stance. So take a look right here. Now what we can do is take a look from every angle. So I really like here that you got your stick out in front and you're keeping it flat on the ice, which is really good. You can see right here now this glove is out and you can see it. So that's where you have your elbows in, your hands out, so that way you can track those pucks into your blocker and glove hand real easily. You can take a look right here. So it seems like this stick is more on the heel. Just make sure it's flat across the ice so that way that puck doesn't slip in right underneath that stick. And you can see this is a really good stance. Again, if you want, you can start to come up a little bit more here. You can start to raise your head here, and you can have a forward lean in through here if you'd like. You're getting a little taller now, so go ahead and play a little bit bigger. You're doing a great job of flexing these hips, and you can see you have good bend in your knees there. So take a look here. And now what we're going to have you do is do your shuffle. So your shuffle is good for short distances, and it's good to be able to adjust when you have to make a little slight angle movement. So if you see that shooter going to the left or right, you can use your shuffle just slightly to go over left or right. And then you're going to remain in your stance when you do it. So as soon as you push off with that inside edge of your skate, you're just going to recover. So see how that your foot and leg come right back to the next one, which is really good. And you can see right here, you're keeping your toes forward, and you're keeping your upper body quiet. You're in your stance, and you're just being able to shift back and forth and shuffle back and forth. So now what we're going to do is have you understand your depth a little bit. So you're going to come out of your net, and you're going to challenge the shooter using those forward C cuts. So you can see that's a great job right here. So you can see you look exactly like the same as a pro goalie. He did the same movement, and this is the position that he was in when he came out of his net. So you can see it looks exactly the same. So now you're going to use those backward C cuts to go back into the middle of your crease right there, and you stop on your inside edges, and you adjust your pads, and you can see right there, you're back in your crease. So you come out of your net, and just to let you know, so if you stay out of your net long enough, and if they get really in close on you, those shooters are going to think deep. But now if you start to come back in your net, they're going to think shot. So it's a little bit of a mind game, especially on a breakaway. So just understand, if you come out of your net, the shooters can think deep, and if once you get back, they're going to see those shooting angles. So that's where we talk about today, putting your gloves on the post just to make sure where it's at, and then you can play those games with the shooters as they come down and start to play around with your depth, where you're in the middle or farther out, so that way you really challenge them and get them thinking and get them spending too much time on what kind of shot they want to have, and then your defenseman will come in and take the puck from them. So you're doing a great job today. Keep up the good work, and that concludes day one. You're all set.